primitive. And, okay, welcome to today's session. Today we're going to be talking about some basic modeling, and we'll focus much more on AutoCAD primitives for today. So I'm just going to take this out. Just going to take all these out. And let's get started. So I splitted my screen because I wanted to see the development as I am working on them. So that's anything I do here, you will also see it on this other view. So let's just get started. For AutoCAD primitives, you see on the modeling, the home tab, the modeling panel, you will see this thing called box. Yes, if you drop it down, you will see some AutoCAD basic primitives like you see. So we have box, we have cylinder, we have cone, we have sphere, we have pyramid, wedge, and torus. Okay, they are all AutoCAD primitives, and they help you draw basic shapes. They are very basic random shapes. There are other ways to create shapes. You can use the 2D tools to create them, then use any of these modeling tools like Extrude or Press Pull to actually make the shape what you want. But for now, let's talk about the AutoCAD primitive. They are quite simple to use. So let's start with the box, of course. Once you select on the box, it prompts you to specify first corner or center. Yes, just like you can draw a rectangle from the center, you can also draw a box from the center. So in this case, I'm going to specify my first corner, and I'll specify it like so, just on the screen. And then you have other options that's popping up. Like we have specify other corner or cube or length. You understand? So we have cube and length. So if I want to make this a cube, I can just type C, because C is highlighted in blue there. I can just type C and say enter. So I know whatever I'm making is a cube. All sides are equal. That's what defines a cube. So if I make this 20, all sides will be 20. Yeah? Do you understand this? Please, if you understand, use the chat box, type understood. If I make this 20, all sides, of course, will be 20, as you may have seen. Okay, so now let's go over it again. We have the box, and you select your first corner. You can use the absolute coordinate method. Okay, you can use the absolute coordinate method, but I'm not going to use that because we've already talked about that in AutoCAD 2D. And go back to the videos. Now let's go to this. I want to do something first of all. Let me change this from conceptual to 2D wireframe, and then go back to the box and click to select my first point. And then for the next point, I'm not going to use cube this time. I'm going to use length because I want to specify the length of my box and the width of my box. So I will just type L for length, enter, and then I specify the length. In this case, I want the length to be 40, and I want the width to be 20. Now the next thing is to specify my extrusion height. Yes. So now I have to specify the height of the box in order to make it a box. Of course, it does not have any height. It's just a rectangle. So I'm just going to make my height 25. So we have our box. Of course, you won't see it. It looks like what we used to create when we were learning introductory technology, or introductory technology. It's how to create a box. You draw some lines and you feel like, no, I'm very good. Okay, so that's it. And now let's make it look like something real. Okay, so we have it. You can see the box like so. So let's bring our box here and leave it like so. So this is the top view of the box. Okay, well, let me make this one surface isolation also. So we have that conceptualized, no, realistic. Yes. So we have that box. Now we continue creating another thing. I'll change this back to the wireframe, and then to the top. So we have our box like so. Now let's go create another thing from the primitives. We have the cylinder, same process. It doesn't cost much, same process, but for the cylinder, you need to first of all specify a center point. So you select the center, and then of course the radius of your cylinder. In this case, I'll make it 15. And the next one is your extrusion height. You specify the height of your cylinder. Now we have other options there. You can specify axis, endpoint, and 2 points to make it 2 point circle and all. But I don't want to do all that. You can go through it on your own. It's quite simple to follow. So I'm just going to make the height as the box. 25, that was what I did. 25, so we have it 25 like so. So we have a box and a cylinder, and all others are the same. Cone, the same thing. But for cone, you can specify some other things. After you select the center, you go over to the radius, or you can use diameter. Then the next one is I will just keep these two. I will skip these two and talk about, because of course these ones are quite easy. I'll talk about the top radius. You can decide to change the top radius. So you don't want it to be pointed and sharp. You can decide to say, okay, I want the top radius to be equals to, I want the top radius to be equals to, let's say, equals to 8. And then after specifying that, you can then specify the height of your cone. So in this case, I'll make my height 25 also. So let's see how it's going over here. So we see we have this, this, and this. So please follow me, Yeah, follow me. Okay, so let's go over to the next one. Sphere, it creates something that looks like a ball. So first of all, you specify your center point, and then the radius of your sphere. You know it's all round, so any radius to choose will be both for the vertical and horizontal axis. So I'm just going to click and drop. I don't want to specify anything. Let me make it 25 in this case anyway. So you can see it. You can see it right here. You have a spherical object, like so. So you see, this one is a little bit lower because of the base point. And if you notice, all the bases are equal. Yes. And because it goes in all directions, you see that it started here and it goes to the roots and then to the top. So that is it. There's no error there. Okay, now let's continue. We have another one. Pyramid. As the name implies, it creates a pyramid. Oh, I need to go there and do something. Just go home in this case, okay? It's not good. Control Z. Escape. Okay, so I'll just come here and select. I don't want the custom view, I want it to be southwest isometric, like so. Okay? Okay, so that is it. Now we'll continue to the pyramid and then create the pyramid. You select center point, or you can decide to use edge or sides. Any of them works. So in this case, I'll use edge, and then I'll select my first edge, and then a second edge. For that, of course, I can do top radius, I can do 2 points, and you understand what this means, right? So I'll just click to drop the height, and then we have our pyramid. We have our pyramid like so. So that is it. I'm just making it a little bit quick, so we continue to what we're supposed to do. And that is it for these ones. Then we have the next one, which is wedge. As the name implies, just click. You can decide to use the center. I'll just use first corner, second corner of the wedge, and then height of the wedge. I'll create a wedge for you. Wow, this wedge is funny. It's looking funny, so let me do something there. I'll just change this to this isometric, and then I'll also create a wedge that looks good. First corner, second corner, and height of wedge actually look like so. So we have our wedge. Are you following me? Do you understand up to this point? Please use the chat box. feel like I'm alone. Are you following me? Do you understand up to this point? Hello, Cheesy. Hello, John Paul. Hello, Omar Shonla. Hello, Samuel Ogundoju. Okay. John Paul, are you here? Okay, let's continue. I'm just going to move this a little bit this way. Okay, so we've got that. What else? We have the next one, torus. Torus is just like a donut. Yeah, you want to create a donut, and you use the torus. You just specify your center point, then the radius of the first circle and the radius of the second circle. The radius of the first circle is just how large you want the torus to be, or the donut to be. Then the radius of the second circle is talking about the thickness of the donut. So I'll just explain that. Radius of the first circle is how large you want the donut to be. And the second one here is talking about the thickness, yes, like so. So this looks like a donut. I'm just going to leave that. Motion, I know you want to bite, so you can just have one when you create yours. So let's continue. After that, we're done with primitive. Of course, I did this randomly without putting any units. So when you're doing your practice, you want to work with the units and explore all other options. So if you have any questions, you can always reach out to me and I will respond to them. So that is it for these basics. Yes, that is it for the basic primitives. I hope you understood up to this point because we're going to another session. I hope you understood up to this point. Is there any question? Hello, do you understand up to this point? Is there any question you would like to ask? Okay, choosing no questions. Understood. Okay, no problem. Now let's get started. Let's continue rather. We've already started for now. Okay, so I'm just going to take away all this. Oh, Marshall, I took away your donut, so you have to create yours. You want to donut. So now we're going to be talking about still on the modeling tab. We'll be talking about extrude. Before we talk about extrude, let me talk about polysolid because it's like a primitive because you just click and it creates this shape for you. Or it's not organized under the primitive panel. I don't know why. So let's just go to the polysolid. And this polysolid will help you create things that looks like walls. Yes, it helps you create things that looks like walls. You can call them walls, yeah? So now also you're welcome. You can call them walls. So now let's get started. You can use any of this. If you have any object before now that you want to make a polysolid, you can use the object option, or you can decide the height. First of all, let me create a polysolid so that you know what I mean. This is a polysolid. This is how it looks. C for close, or you can use A for arc. Create an arc, and then C for close. Close it that way, like so. So we have this. You can see right here. It looks like a fence of a building. Just that I added this arc, and it's polysolid. What I mean by that is that all the edges are joined together. It's a single entity. They are not segregated. Do you understand? I'll still continue. Yes, it's a polysolid. All the edges are joined together. They're not segregated. It's a single entity. Okay. Okay, American, calm down, please. So now let's continue. Now this is a polysolid. You've seen how it looks. So now we can explore other options. Click on the polysolid command. We have the height option. That means you're going to determine the height of your polysolid. Yes, so if you click on the height, you can determine the height of the polysolid. Let's say in this case, I want it to be 31 for 3,100 or 310. Yes, I'll make it 310 centimeters. That's like the height of a building, a residential building wall. Yeah. So I'll make it like so. Then the width, I'll make the width, that one is 310. This one should be 2.5. Yeah. So 2.5, I think so. Yes. 2.5. Now let's see. And justify how you want to justify it. This justification now, it's talking about how you want to draw. If you're drawing a rectangle, it gives you options to draw from the center or from the edge. Now justify also gives you the same thing. How do you want to draw it? Do you want to draw it from the left, the center, or the right? So if you're drawing from the center, it means that the, let me do something. I'm coming back. Let me just draw this simple line. I'll use the polyline because it will go to the XY plane. I'll draw this. I'll draw this. I'll just draw that too. Now, let's explore those options. Polysolid. First point, put my snap option is on. Yes, snap is on. First point, and I will use, let me change the justification. I will use the left justification right now. And now the height, let me do 3,100. I don't know why I'm using this. Okay, just leave it like so. And then, okay, the width, 2.5, yeah. So now I'm going to start here. I'm going to draw. So you see, because I used the left option, see now, it started drawing. Oh, I did not click. Did I? Click to draw, bro. Okay. Endpoint. And I'll leave it there. So now, you see, it started drawing from the left of the polysolid. It started drawing here. Did you understand? Did you see that? If you saw that, please type sim. If you saw that, please type sim. If you saw what I meant, if you understand what I just explained, please type sim. Someone is not on this call. Someone window G, right? Yeah. Okay. So, seeing Chizzy saw it. Omorishola, did you see it? John Paul, did you see it? Okay. Okay. I think I'll have to repeat that. Okay, I'll have to repeat that. Okay, now you click on the polysolid. Yeah. Click on the polysolid. Now we use the justification, the left justification, not the right. Okay, this time let's use the center justification so you see the difference. I want to use the center justification this time. And then I start drawing my polysolid. So my polysolid goes like so, and it goes like so, and then it goes to the end of this line, and then I'm good with it. So now you see, because I started at the center, the polysolid started drawing from the center outward to both left and right direction. Did you see that? Do you understand it? Did you see that and do you understand it? John Paul and Omorishola, did you see these things? Okay, okay, now I can continue. Now you understand what the justification means. Okay, yes, Chizzy saw and understood. Okay, before you just saw it, but you did not understand. Okay, wow. Thank God I repeated it, so you understand it now. And if you feel at any point that I am too fast, you can slow me down. You mean the center of the 3 lines? It's not actually 3 lines. You only have 2 lines there, my dear. Only have 2 lines. I drew the center line there is just for illustration. Like so, you see, I just deleted it. So it's just as a reference to draw my polysolid lines. Let's say I want to draw a wall that will fit in this. And I use the polysolid command. And I want the wall to start here and come inside. I don't want it to start and go to this other direction. I want it to start from this point and then towards the right. So if I want such wall, I'll just justify it to the left. Because if it starts from the left and draws and goes towards the right, it will really achieve what I want it to achieve, like I just explained. So I'll just click here because I just justified it to the left and then start drawing. So you see the wall started from the left and is justifying towards the right. Do you understand the summation? This is it for the left. I'm still going to do something again so you understand for that. Let me just take away this and copy this one. I'll copy this and bring it like so. I'll copy again and bring it like so. So you will see the difference. So now that one use the left, and the next one, polysolid, I want to justify it to the center. And I'll draw like so, and to the end. That one is justified to the center. Repeat polysolid and justify to the right. And I'll draw same. I'll draw same. 1, 2, and 3. So you see, this is where we have the line and it's drawn outwards. This one is drawn to the center and this one is drawn towards the right. Do you understand? Omorishola, do you understand that about the polysolid? Use a fast track class. Please, I need you to be fast also. Yep, I need you to be fast also. So let's continue. Okay, yes, you saw it and you understood it. Okay, having said that about the polysolid, I think by now you must have understood that, okay, the polysolid needs a height to operate. The polysolid needs a width, like we've seen, it has a height, it has a width, and you can justify it. Of course, you can convert an object to a polysolid also. Okay, so now let's see the next option right there. We have the extrude. Like I said, today's class will be swift, and we're preparing for something better. Yes, after this, we'll go to another track, another stack, actually, not track. So now let's see. We have to create some basic shapes again. In AutoCAD 3D, you can also use the 2D tools. Unfortunately, somebody that asked this question is not here. Oh my God. Okay, you will have to go and watch the video. You can create 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, you can create objects using 2D tools. Someone raised this question to me privately on Slack, and this is where you would have learned that. So, like you see here, we have some 2D tools. We have the Polyline, we have 3D Polyline, we have arc. Of course, we have different options to create an arc, as we did create them while we were doing AutoCAD 2D. We have the spline, we have the line, we have circles, of course, different types. And then we have polygon, yeah? Then we have the rectangle. You notice that the polygon and the rectangle are separate here. And then we have the ellipse. So now we can use these to create objects. And I'm just going to do some basic shapes. I will use this polyline to create something that looks like this, like so, like this, and then I think I'll close it up. Then I need to make it a little bit, fanciful. So I'm just going to get my circle, center radius, and then start from the midpoint of this line to create something that looks just like this. And then I'm going to do some modification, just going to trim it. Yeah. Because we know how to use all these tools. I'm just going to trim it. And I have this shape. Yes, so I need to join this shape. Same process, just highlight them and type join. Or you go to the modify panel and then click on join. Click on join. And you have it. So now you see, it's a single entity. So now let's copy this. I'll just do this and then use the copy command and copy them like so. From here to here and then to this point. Any other one. For now, let's just leave it like so. Okay, so Yeah, I'll leave it like so. So now let's see. Let's explore the extrude command. Are you ready? Are you ready for this? If you're ready, type ready. Use the chat box, please. If you're ready for this, type ready. Use the chat box. Okay, Cheesy is ready. Only Cheesy. Why? Why? Why only Cheesy? We have John Paul here. We have Omorishola. We have Namonso. Please, you guys need to be ready. Are you ready? Okay. Omorishola ready. Okay, no problem. Okay, now let's continue. We can convert these 2D shapes to 3D solids. Yes, these are just 2D shapes. And we'll go to all the views, you see them. Let's just do this. And you see, it's still a 2D shape. We go over here. It's still a 2D shape. Nothing, it's not a surface, it's not a solid, it's just a 2D shape. Okay. Now let's go back to our 2D wireframe. This is a 2D shape. Let's look for it here. Just double tap your center scroll wheel, and you have it in isometric view, like so. Now let's convert these 2D shapes to 3D solids. And then we have different options to do that, but we're going to use the extrude command. So click on the extrude command. It will ask us, okay, which object do you want to extrude? Yes, which object do you want to extrude? Or extrude is another word for dragging out. Yes, you're pulling out. So now I'm going to select the first one and just do a normal extrude. And extrude it by, in this case, let's say 250, like so. So you see, we have it right here. You can see it is now a solid. Did you see that? Did you see that? Did you see how easy it is? Or how easy I did that? Did you see it? If you saw it, please type "sin." You know our language here, use the chat box, type "sin." Okay. That is it. Now let's go back to the second one. For the second one, please pay attention. For the second one, we're going to use extrude and select it. After selecting it, press enter. Now it is asking for extrusion height, yeah? But I'm not going to use the extrusion height. I'm going to use the next one that's talking about taper angle. Yes, taper angle will give a little bit of a angular feel to it. So I'm going to explain it. The word there is taper. It will taper it as it goes up. So now let's select the taper angle option or type T using your keyboard, T, and enter. Now you have to specify a taper angle. So I will use 15 degrees. In this case, I will use 15 degrees for my taper angle. So if you see on my screen, you see something that looks like a 15-degree angle. So it's just giving you an overview of how it looks. So let's just enter. And now the extrusion height, what did I use before now? I think I used 300, right? I forgot to. So I'm going to use 350 in this case. And enter. Wow, it could not do that. Okay, because of the taper angle. And if the height is so high that the taper angle will not work, Autocad will not taper it. That's what just happened. The height was so high that the taper angle could not work. So Autocad will tell you, okay, that's tapering, the angle you wanted to use is impossible. So now let's continue again. Let's go over it again. I want to extrude it. Select the object to extrude and select the extrude option. T for taper. This time I will use 7 degrees. And height of how many? I need the height to be 300. Now you see, let's look over here. Let's follow me. If you noticed, this part here is equal up to the top. But if you look here, you see that this was tapered. And if you check this angle, it will be equals to 7 degrees. It was tapered by 7 degrees up to this point. Did you see that? Did you see that? And do you understand it? Okay, I used to the last time, right? Thank you very much, Lamoso. So, did you see that? And do you understand it? Should I repeat it? Did you see that? Do you understand it? If you want me to repeat it, please type repeat using the chat box. Repeat using the chat box. If you want me to repeat, repeat using the chat box. Okay. I've gotten a lot of repeats, so I'm going to repeat that. So now I'm just going to undo it. Okay, so we have this, and I'll click on the object I want to extrude, and then select the extrude command. And this time it's asking me of extrusion height, just like this other one did. I don't just want to extrude it, but I want it to taper as it's extruding. So it will have this inclined movement upwards. Yeah. I want it to have this inclined movement upward or angular movement upward. So as it's going, it's reducing in size. Okay, now let's see. For that, I'll need to select the taper angle option we have here in the command line. Select that taper angle option. And then I need to insert the taper angle. As you can see, like so. I have this, but I don't want it that way. So now I can insert the taper angle option. Now I need it to go 6 degrees. 6, yeah? Okay, I need it to go 6 degrees. Oh, 6 is quite too small. Okay, let me use 6. 6 degrees. No. So enter. Now the height of my object, let's say 250. Now you see. You see something. Something funny has happened here. So now let's see something. You see right here, it's tapered from this point up to the top. And then you notice here, because this was a shape and it was very close to the edge, like we have here, Yes, this shape here was very close to the edge. So while it was tapering, it did take away some part of it. Hence, this shape, this funny looking shape, like so. So I just repeated the extrude and taper angle. Do you understand it? Do you understand it up to this point? Do you understand it? Type understood if you did understand what I just shown. Okay, Chizzy understood it. Who else understood this? Understood. Okay, now we can go on. Now the next one is quite like these ones, but I'm going to make it, I'm going to extrude it along a path. So for that path, I'll need something like this. Let me draw a path. Okay, now I'll select these points upwards and then this way, like so. Enter. Okay, let me do something a little bit funny. Delete. I want to make it look funny. So upwards, this way, enter. So the shape will look a little bit funny. Yeah, exactly. Let's see if it will. I'm not sure it will extrude along this path. Or I am going to try and see if it will do that. Okay, now let's see. This is the object I want to extrude. First of all, I need to join all these parts together. It's not going to extrude along this path. The part is just too tight for the extrusion. So let me do something. The part is too tight for the extrusion to go through. So I'm going to make it a little bit longer. Let's see, this way. Yeah. Now front, show me front view. Yes, so the front view, I want to make it a little bit higher. Go up. Which of the lines did I use? Make this line. That is it. Up, we go this way, we go, and then we go this way. Okay, now I need to join all these lines. J to join, J to join. So when you select it, you see it's a single entity, okay? So now let's move this along this path. So we have to extrude it along this path. So now let's see. I select the extrude command, and I select the object to extrude, and then enter. Now you see it going on its own, but I don't want that. I want to extrude it along this path. I want it to follow this path. Now let's see what will happen if I select the path option and then select this. So you see, it's extruded along, it's been extruded along that path, like so. So we have a funny looking shape like this. Do you understand up to this point? Please, if you understand, type understood using the chat box. Okay, so you've seen the funny looking shape. If you understand, type understood using the chat box. So you've seen how people create all those random shapes you see around for production. If you have something you want to produce, they'll just extrude it along the path. There are other options to also use. I think we'll talk about a little bit of them. But for now, that's how you extrude along a path. Yes. So now let's talk about some others. We have the loft, the revolve, and the sweep. The sweep works exactly as this extrude along path. Yes. Let me show you, for instance. Ctrl Z, Ctrl Z, Ctrl Z, Ctrl Z. Undo, undo. Okay. So that is it. Let me go over to sweep. Let's see. Sweep. Object to sweep. This is the object I want to sweep. Enter. Now, sweep along path. Now, the sweep path is this. So you see, it's the same thing. It's just sweep it along that path. Now, there's another option to explore. Once you select sweep, object to sweep, enter. There is this other one, twist. So if I select twist and twist angle, I make twist angle to be just 5 degrees, enter. And I select this path. Unable to sweep. Oh, that 5 degrees is just too much for it. What should I use? Let's see. I'll move this. First of all, I'll move it to this point. Or to this point. No, I don't want to move it like that. Let's see. Move from this base point down to this point. Yeah. And let's repeat again. Sweep. Twist. 3 degrees. Twist angle around back. Okay. Now path. Let's see this path. If it will work. It's not working. I think this is just too big for that angle of twist. So we look for something like a simple polygon, something smaller. Let's see if I can resize this. Where's your scale? Center point, 0.25. And let's sweep it. Oh, these points are too close. If these points are too close, it will not sweep. Let's go to twist. 2 degrees. It's still not working. Those points are just too close to each other. So we're going to leave that for now. Well, after the extrude, we have the next one, which is loft. Let's talk about loft a little bit. And for that, I'm going to delete this and create another shape on top of this. I will make another shape here. Let's say a circle. I'll use a circle. and just create it like so. Then for this circle, I'll move it upwards. Just going to move it upward. And then on top of this circle, I'll create something else, a polygon. Let's see. Number of sides. I need the number of sides to be 8. Octagon, yeah. And circumscribe. We can just go like so up to this point. And then I'll move it upwards again. Move. We move upwards. Now, see what the Loft command will do. It will create a shape from these 3 shapes. And let me see something. Let me extend the size of this. Let me increase it. Okay, now it will create a shape from this, create a shape combining these 3 shapes. Okay, now let's see. Loft. I'll select my first option, select the second one, and then the third one. And enter. First option only. Okay, so you see we have a funny looking shape, like so. Yes, so you've seen how people create most of those furnitures you see lying around your house, where someone wants to create a furniture that the base will be circle and the top will be like a polygon and all that. This is how they do it with AutoCAD. Wow. Okay, this is how they do it with AutoCAD. So that is it for the Loft command. Do you understand this? Let me ask you this question. Do you understand it? Like I said, it's a fast track thing. We're trying to fast track it. The twist, no, that's not for the twist. This Loft will actually, and let me show you something. It's not the twist. The twist option is not on. This is not the sweep command. Let me undo it up to that point. Now, see, what it does is that it takes the shape of these edges the way it is. So we have this shape like so. It will combine this shape to this circle. Now you see, let me do it again. I select this one, the first shape, and I select the second shape. Now see what happened here. Look over here. See what happened here. Let me click here. You see what happened here? It took the shape of the first object and combined it with the second object, which is this circle, to create this object looking like so. Now, if I select this third object, it will combine this one with this. And you see, it started here. Because this shape had to combine with the circle, this part is now a little bit like it's smooth. Then from this smooth part, it combined this smooth part with the polygon on top, and it made this. It made this. Okay, so by now you should understand. Do you understand? Omorishola, Namonso, Cheesy. Do you understand? Yes, understood? Understood? Okay, understood. Okay, understood. Omorishola. So I'll go over that again. Or yes, it's the Loft command. Yes, it's the Loft command. Okay, understood. So okay, that is it. So now I had to escape it because I wanted to go over it again. So now let's see it again. Now it combines the shape with all the shapes accordingly as you progress, according to the way you select them. So now let me go to the Loft command. Yeah, the Loft command, I select this shape, I combine it with this shape. Now you see the shape it has there. And now I want to combine it with this shape. Now you see the shape it has there. And that is it. There's no twist there, no twist angle, just that it's combining one shape with another one. Okay? So I believe you understood that one. I'm just going to Of course, after you need to select any of this, so I'm just going to use cross-section only. And that is it. Now, also, you have a question. Please type your question. Please type your question. Okay, since he's typing his question, let me do other thing. Revolve. Okay, for the revolve, I'll create a piece of geometry before I use the revolve. Or I will just do something. I will just do this and copy this out. Let me just copy this out while he's typing his question. I'll just copy this to this point and then leave it like so. Okay, okay, no problem. You can unmute your mic and talk. Okay?
Okay. Good morning, everybody. Hello.
Hello, you're welcome.
Good morning, sir. Okay. Using the Loft option. Now, imagine, like, okay, I've created this. Now, I want to give. Let's imagine that's the furniture I've created.
Okay.
Now, on the right side, where everything was worked on before, it shows us the 3D.
Okay, yeah.
Project. Now, can that be used on the right side? Can that be used as a framing structure?
Yes, that's like this structure actually. That's the structure. You mean all these objects, like this object here, and this one, right?
Yes.
And these are the structures. With this, you can actually create the shape. You understand? So it's not like you're going to produce this thing. Let's say you're going to print it out. Of course, there are people that does this and then print it. You understand? But since this is just like the skeleton of whatever you're doing. It's the basic shapes that help you achieve the complete model or the complete 3D solid. So these are the basic shapes. This is just a random shape. This is a circle and this is a polygon. So now with the Loft command, you're just combining this shape, all of them, to achieve the goal of this. You're just combining those shapes. You see them, they are like the structure. Like when I say structure, I mean the skeleton holding it. They're like the structure holding this particular shape. So this outer part is like, should I say a material or, yes, a material that is covering the structure. Now the structure here, we're talking about these lines that are curved this way, this line that is curved this way. You can see them like skeleton, and then this is the flesh. Do you understand?
Yes, sir. Yes, okay. I do. Thank you.
I'm just going to do this and we're good. So we have that. Like I said, it's a fast track class. Okay, the next one is the Revolve Command. Yeah, we have the Revolve Command. Okay, so now to work with the Revolve Command, just select it and you select the object you want to revolve. In this case, this is the object I want to revolve, and enter. Now you select the axis or axis point. You define the start point. Let's say this one as your start point. Let me turn off this. Okay. Something wrong is happening. So let's do this. I'm going to rotate it first of all. I want it to look. Let's keep it somehow. 3D rotate, where are down? Okay, so let me select this. Rotate it using the 3D rotate tool. Okay, so this 3D rotates. Select the green part and make it 90. Okay, so it's standing this way. And so let's see now. It's our revolve tool. Select it to revolve it. Enter. Then we select our axis now. Axis of revolution. We want to revolve it about this axis. So we can make it like so. And then close it. If I want it to be 360, like I want it to be completely revolved, and type 360. And then we have this very nice shape from the revolution of that object. Do you understand this? I know it will look like magic to some people. Were you following? Do you understand? You have a question, I must come down, please. Do you understand? Nobody understands it. Okay, let me repeat. Okay, Omorisho, like you did. Okay, I'll have to repeat it so everybody will be on the same page. Okay. Undo. Someone that used to answer to me undo. Okay, so now we have this shape here. You want to rotate it, there are different options. And the best way to rotate a 3D object or this object and make it look like a 3D or rotate it to a 3D mode is to use the 3D rotate. You select the 3D rotate, and then with this, you can select any of the axes you want to rotate it about. In this case, I want to rotate it about the green axis, which is the Y axis. And I input 90 to make it stand like so. Now, if you see, let me go over here. If you see here, you actually notice how that shape played out. So you see, I selected the shape, which is this, and I rotated it about this as my center. I use this line here as my center. So if I use this line as my center line, just as the mirror and the rotate works, that's how the revolve works. The mirror command and the rotate command, it works just like the revolve. So now if I use this as my center point, it means that it will revolve around this. That is it, it will revolve around this. If I use this horizontal axis, it means that this one now, it will turn this way. Do you understand what I'm saying? So now let's do practical for you to understand. Let me just copy this. I'll copy it out. I'll copy it out like so. 1, 2. I think that space is too small. That space is F8. Go straight to the orthogonally. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so we have it like so. So now let's see. Let's get to work. Now see here. I select this. I want to revolve it. Revolve tool. Now I select this point here, this line as my axis. You get? So now I'm selecting this line as my axis. Meanwhile, Chizzy, hope I answered your rotate question. If yes, please type yes using the chat box while you watch. I select this as my axis. It means that it will be revolved around this line you're seeing so. So I'll select that and then rotate. You see, this is rotation angle. I can decide to make it like this, or make it like this, or make it like this, or make it like this. So you see, it's just like so. So I can just keep it like this and then make it 360 for it to look a little bit, you know, cozy. And that is it. We have something that looks like, I don't know. It looks like something, but I don't know what it looks like. Maybe our host can help me tell me what it looks like using the chat box. So now I'll move this further away to avoid, I'll just click on this red line and drag it like so to move. Okay, so that is it. Now the next one is looks like a fountain. Okay, John Paul, wow, thank you. I'm just going to select this and select the Revolve command also. This time I'm going to select another axis. Sorry. I'm going to select another axis, and it will be this one right here, and this one. And then I rotate. It will look like a fountain, but to another axis. Now I would say 180 is half of a fountain. What is half of a fountain? It should be found. Okay, so that is it. We have that. I believe you understand the concept now. I believe you understand the concept much better. So now I'm going to revolve this also. And and I will use this as my axis of revolution. And how do you want to revolve it, Oga? Let's say I revolve it up to this point to look like a boat. Let me use 225. No, 210. Wow, it looks like a funny thing. I don't know what it looks like anyway. So someone can help me tell me what it looks like. So I just did this to explain the revolution. And I believe we all understand what it is right now. Do you understand up to this point? Cheesy, John Paul, Omorishola, you're not saying anything. Okay, John Paul said something, a fountain. Okay, I think, okay, we're all on the same page. We're all on the same page, and our time is fast spent. Let's talk about the last one on that list so we can continue. Sweep. I talked about the sweep command before now, but I'm going to do that again. Let's go back to our southwest isometric view. And then I'm just going to delete something. This. Anyway, I'll leave it. But I like this shape anyway. I don't know who likes this really. I like the shape. It looks like something I would have to print in 3D. Well, all these models, you can actually use a 3D printer and print them, and you have them physical. All you have to do is just scale them to the size you want, and then you print them. So you have them like so. Okay, so now let's leave these ones and let's go over to the sweep command. For the sweep command, I'm going to draw another geometry. So let's come over to this screen for southwest isometric view or top view. This looks very, 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 very funny. Trust me, it looks funny. Okay, now let's go top view. Why is that looking funny? Okay, yeah, it's this shape. So now for the sweep command, I'm just going to use a simple polygon. Let's draw it like so. Number of polygons, just use that. Let's try a little polygon like so. And then this. So for the sweep to work, you need a path. So I'll just do this, and do this. Now, let me show you something. If this circle or this polygon cannot pass through here correctly, it will not allow it to sweep through. So I'm just going to draw something that can sweep through. Let me use the polygon also. It's inscribed. I'll just make it as little as this and delete. Okay, now let's try with that. We have this. Now we'll go to the sweep command and select the object to sweep. In this case, this one. No, first of all, I need to join this line. I need to join this line. J. And yes, it's now a single entity. I select this one, sweep. Path. I select this path. And you see it's been swept along that path. So if you go over to this view, you see it there. It looks like Allen key. Yeah, who is a technician here. You should know what an Allen key is. So that is it for the sweep command. Now let's explore the options using the sweep command. Okay, so now we did the sweep normally. Now let's do sweep along path, and let's make it a twist. Now you can select the twist command and make the twist 5 degrees. Enter, so it will be twisting 5 degrees as it goes along that path. And it still does not want to work. I don't know why. So I think we're just going to skip that twist for now until I know what's wrong with my end or what I'm doing that is wrong. So for that, okay, you know what an allen key is, of course, you know now. Okay, for that, there is this other command here, press pull. Press pull, should we talk about it today? Yes, we should. So I know we are. Okay, let's try using 1 degree like this instead. Select, sweep, and we use a twist of 1 along this path. It still is not working. I think there's something I'm doing that is very, 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 very wrong. Or I need to adjust this a little, like so. And then let me try again. Sweep, twist. It's not working, so we're just going to skip that for now. Let's talk about something else. What was I about talking about? Okay, so yes, the sweep command. For the sweep command, what should I do? I'll just draw a simple piece of geometry. Yeah. What's a simple piece of geometry? Just draw a simple geometry. And then continue. So let's say we have this drawn like so. We have this, no, not that one. We have this drawn like so. Now, see this. If I use a line to construct a box, and see to close. You see, of course, you know that the lines, all the sides are segregated, like we all know. But a polyline, in this case, you see, they are all joined together. Yeah. So now, if I use extrude, okay, let me copy this and convert it to a polyline. Let's copy it this way and convert one to a polyline. J, just join it to convert it to a polyline. Now, if I use the extrude command, extrude, and I select this one, enter, and I go upwards. Same extrude command, extrude. I select these objects, enter, go upwards also. Which of them was joined, which of them wasn't? Okay, so yeah. So now we have all of them are of the same sizes, like you all know. But they were drawn with different types of lines. One was drawn with the polyline tool, and the other was drawn with the line tool. Now you see the results of them both. You have something that looks like a meshy box, and then this one we have something that looks like a hand-drawn box. So now let's look at the realistic view. So you see this one now is a solid. This is a solid. And this one is a surface. You see? That's the difference between line and polyline. Solid and surface. The difference between line and polyline is solid and surface. Yes, you can say that the difference between line and polyline is a solid and a surface, or a surface and a solid, yeah, because with the extrude command, the line produces surfaces, like you've seen, so, while the polyline produces solid. You see? Do you understand what I just said? Do you understand? Hello, is anybody with me? Okay. So that is it. If you extrude a polyline is simply a line drawn that all the corners are joined together, all the sides are joined together, they're not segregated. Meanwhile, a line is drawn, but of course, you know, they are all segregated, so they're not joined. Okay, now let's see. Now, I will have to, should I delete this? Yes, I'll delete that. I'll delete. I delete this when everything goes, so I'll leave it. So now let's see something. With the extrude command, if I want to extrude this object, I need to come and select the line. You see, so I cannot just click here and it extrudes. No, it's wrong. I need to select the line, enter for me to extrude it. And you see, it did not respect this boundary that is there. It did not respect this boundary. So now there is another option to actually extrude things, but it will respect all boundaries given to it. And that is the press pull command. So with the press pull, I don't need to select this line. If I want to extrude this shape as it is like so, I just come, use the press pull tool and select the center. And you see like so, I have this. I can also come here and select this. And you see like so, I have this. I can also come and select the center that is remaining. And you see like so, I have this. Do you understand? So we have 3 different shapes drawn out of 2 or 3 different solid objects drawn out of whatever because of what? The press pull command. Having said that, and since you all understand, we've come to the end of today's session. I hope you gained value. We took our time to actually explain everything right here. And that's a win, that's a big win for us today. So since I said it's a fast track class, we're just skipping this part to go to the main important things. Okay, so do you all understand this? Wow, I like this, everybody understands. John Paul doesn't want to say anything. John Paul has decided not to say anything to us. John Paul, why? What's no, sir? You don't understand. John Paul, do you understand? Okay, you've been getting, okay. You've been getting interrupted. Okay, you know what you'll do? You just have to revisit the YouTube channel to watch the video. Well, okay, let me do something quickly. I'm just going to delete all these entities and recap what I just did. Okay, you will stream the live video. Wow. Okay, let me just do a recap of this last part to make it a little bit fair. Like I said, with the extrude command, if you want to bring up any of these shapes, like let's say we have like 3 shapes here. We have this part, we have this part, and we have this part of the shape. But with the extrude command, you cannot achieve that. You need to draw this shape separately and draw this other shape separately and this last shape separately. So you can press pull them by just selecting the lines, because you cannot select. Don't worry, it will work properly. Don't worry. So because you cannot select any of this part. So now, what you need to use to achieve this is the press pull command. It's just like the press pull command is just like the extrude command, but it's advanced. Now with the press pull command, you see you can select each shape and drag them up. And you will have the shape individually, like so. I'll keep this like this. And then the center shape also can be drawn, like so. So with this, you can select each individual shapes and take them where you want them to be. So you move this one to the green, towards the green axis, like so, and then we have this one there. John Paul, do you understand this? Okay, having said that, we've come to the end of today's session. If you maybe after going back to YouTube to watch this video, you have any question, you can reach out to me on Slack. You can also comment your question on the YouTube channel and we will respond to you. Thank you very much for attending to this class. And do you have anything to say to me? Anybody raise your hand, use the chat box. If you have anything to say to me, okay, well, nobody. Okay. I will say a very big thank you to you all for attending today's class, and please practice. This skill will only become yours if you practice it. Make sure you practice. Yes, make sure you practice. Yes, make sure you practice. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you for attending today's session. See you in our next session. Please make sure you do your assignment as it will be posted today. Make sure you do your assignments, and thank you very much. And don't forget to practice. Practice. That's the key word for today. Practice. Okay, we hand over to the host right now. Host, over to you. Okay. Thank you very much for attending today's class. We've come to the end of today's session. Goodbye.